Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to check in with you. It's been a while. Um, Life is moving and we are grooving, and it ain't slowing down. So I know everyone is busy, and as am I, and I'm trying to do my best to stay connected and continue to stay present and be there, and continue to provide information and updates and insights, and document all of the things that I'm going through, because I know it helps so much. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Let's start right now with saying our thanks. Thank you for our life today. Thank you for our health. Thank you for bringing us all together. Thank you for a beautiful day with the weather. And thank you for our medicine. Thank you for another opportunity to keep growing and learning and healing. Every day that we wake up is another opportunity for us to do all those things and to grow, and that's what we're all here to do. This is all a giant classroom. Life is the lesson, and we're all trying to graduate through that. That's what I'm talking about. There's work to be done. You hear a lot about there's so many distractions in this world, and that's what they're talking about when they say that, because if your time is spent focusing on things other than your own healing, then you're not doing yourself any service. It'd be like if you went to school and spent your time on your phone while you're in your classroom. Do you see how you're not using the time in the best way possible, right? You're there to learn, and so that you can graduate, because we all know what happens if you don't pass is you stay back, don't you? You have to do it all over again, don't you? So the best thing to do is to put the distractions away, whatever that might be. Put away these ideas of what you must do in order for your life to be successful in your eyes, or how you want it, as far as material things or circumstances. We spend all of our time trying to make sure we have the next thing, or get the next thing, or make sure we're not missing out on something, when those again are just distractions. They're leading us away from focusing on our hearts. Focusing on this goal of saving up enough money to buy something. Do you see how much time and energy is consumed into that endeavor? And what does it get you at the end? It gets you something that has no value. It just gets you something that you can use for a period of time, and there's no substance there. This life isn't about acquiring things and having the most possessions. It's not that. It's not having the most money. It's not having the most things. It's not spending our time running around doing things. That's not what it's about. Again, all those things mean you're not in the classroom paying attention. The great thing about school is, if you pay attention and you do well, you can graduate. And once you graduate, essentially you're handed your freedom. That is the moment where now you can decide where to go and what to do. But until that point, there's an obligation for you to prove that you understand what is being taught to you. And life is no different. If you cannot prove and show to life that I'm getting it, I'm with it, I'm hearing you, I'm listening, I'm following you, I'm moving to you with your guidance, right? I'm communicating with you. If you can't prove all those things, you're not doing all those things, it's letting life know, it's letting the teacher know that you don't get it and you're not ready to move on and you still need help and your focus still is not where it needs to be. And so life's going to continue to make things happen in your experiences to continue to hopefully get you to get on that path. It can feel like you're tripping over yourself, or you're continuing to fall down, or you're always, heading backwards or taking steps backwards, or finding yourself in the same place over and over again. These are signs that you're not getting it. You're not doing the work that you're supposed to be doing to be moving on, because there's so many things that we have to work through, and you can't get on to the next thing until you work on this first thing, right? So life is saying, okay, each individual has their own things to work on, and we're trying to get each individual to focus on those things. Once we're all in tune and working on those things and healing those things, we keep moving on. Next checkpoint, next checkpoint, next checkpoint, next chapter, next chapter, next chapter. Eventually we'll find ourselves moving away from this idea of, I have to live my life in this system and do all these things, and that's what life means. No, we're going to be moving away from that idea and moving into this truth of this entire life is meant to be a free experience. And the only way for you to have that freedom is to prove that you can handle it. As a child, would your parent let you just wander out of the house and go out into the world on your own and take a plane across the country and like maybe some people's parents would, but really it's not about that. It's about that you have to show that you're responsible and mature enough and have proven over time that you can handle the situations that you're going to be faced with. If your whole focus in life is income and money and the next possession and having the most, you are so far away from being in tune with yourself and what we're supposed to be doing here that you're going to find yourself really, really struggling. You're going to be struggling with happiness. You're going to be struggling with fulfillment. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you're going to be looking around at the things that you have and saying, what does this all really mean? What does this all matter for? And you're going to say, it didn't. It was a big waste of energy and time and resources. This isn't a game of Monopoly. Okay, they want you to believe that it's a game of Monopoly, and we want to be the guy with the most money and the most properties, and that's how you win at life. But that's not what the game we're playing. Really, it's not really a game at all. What it is it's just a giant open playing field for you to do as you please. That's true freedom. There's no, you have to do this, or you have to do that, or you have to pay me this or pay me that, or we have to be separated as people into different classes based on poverty levels and things like this, right? We're all just human beings. We're all on the planet. That is the playing field. But then there's a system in place that is killing us and separating us and hurting us. And the more that we continue to buy into that system and be players of that game, the more it continues to play out. The more that we accept that it's okay how we're being forced to live, then nothing's going to change. we have to wake up to this understanding that our time is being wasted and our lives are being wasted. And what is the value of your life? What is it worth to you? What is your time worth to you? Right? And so, isn't that enough to want to do something about it? And it doesn't mean we have to start a war. It means that we have to take a stance. It means that we have to say we're not going to continue to spend our time doing what we're told to do in order to please these money-driven people that make the rules. I get it. There's this idea that we need you. You're the one that takes care of us. I can't go against you. It's almost like the government's our parent and we don't want to displease them. So if they're saying that we should do it and they're telling us it's true, then that's what we should listen to and believe. But can't we use our discernment and look around us and all agree that we're not really living in a system that benefits the majority of people, and that it is set up to benefit a very, very small group of people at everyone else's expense? And so why are we supporting that? It's a shame. And so there's no one to blame but ourselves. At the end of the day, when everything doesn't change, there's no one to blame but ourselves. We have to stand up for ourselves and say, this isn't right. We're not going to continue to vote for the next person who's going to tell us what to do. We're done with these systems of taking away our rights, taking away our freedoms. Forcing us to have to be exposed to things that hurt us. And they do it intentionally. And that's the saddest part. We don't have a government that is trying to heal us. We have a government that is actively trying to kill us. In a million and one different ways that we don't even have any ideas about. It's just a constant system of belittling, abusing, dehumanizing, and literally killing the human people. So I don't know how many of you have loved ones in your life that you've watched die around you or suffer, or people that struggle with money and income and not having places to live and food to eat and being able to have proper health care, all because of the system. But I'm sure that if you were to think about it, in all those circumstances, you'd say, this isn't right, it's not fair, and it shouldn't be this way. So if all of us feel that way, why aren't we all getting together and doing something about it? We feel helpless. We feel like there's nothing we can do. It just takes a movement. It takes a movement. It takes a wave. Okay? And it takes action. It takes a choice to say, I'm done. I'm done sacrificing my life for somebody else. And what I want to do is live. If we can all make that choice and commit to that, there's the change. It just happened. We will be waking up in a different world if we all have that mindset and we commit to that. So the solution is us and our choice. So I'm going to continue to keep making that choice over and over again every day and setting that example that that's the choice that should be and needs to be made. Otherwise, we all continue to suffer, we all continue to die, and our family continues to suffer and die, and our loved ones continue to suffer and die. And this world and everything on it continues to suffer and die at the expense and benefit of a small group of people. Doesn't make sense to me. I know it doesn't make sense to you. And that's why I'm here and that's why you're here. Because it's been this way for too long, hasn't it? And we needed a group of people to come in and be strong enough to say no more. And we're just coming on, getting into this place now where we're understanding this and feeling this within our souls. We're saying, okay, this is why I'm here. This facade and this illusion is starting to fade away of be number one and beat the next guy. It's not a competition. This life is a mission. It's not a competition, it's a mission. And we're all on a mission together, and we're all waking up, and we'll say we're all connecting, we're all turning on. It's like the lights are all turning on within each one of us, and as that happens, we all connect. The lights start connecting. That opens up the truth within us, and it floods us with remembrance and this feeling of, aha, I remember, I get it. And very soon here, we're all going to be very, very fed up with the way things are, the way things have been, and we're going to feel sick inside the more that we continue to accept it and continue to go along with it. And it's going to get to a point where that's when the people will start having to be forced to make a change, because when you're physically ill because you're continuing to accept abuse, that's the point where finally you end up making a choice to do something about it. Either that or you make a choice to give up, right? And I don't think any of us are making that choice. We wouldn't be here if that was the choice we were making. So instead of allowing ourselves and waiting until that point where we're, dying and on our deathbed, why don't we make that choice now and save ourselves a lot of pain, struggle, and grief? And start intentionalizing now. You're not okay with it. You don't accept it. You understand it's a lie. You understand it's a scam. You understand they're not working in your benefit. You understand they're trying to hurt you and your family. You understand that they are monopolizing the world and their benefit so they can control you. Okay, we start intentionalizing these things and harnessing them into our understanding of our being, and they start becoming our truth, because it is the truth. This is about being honest with ourselves. We want to believe we're being supported by the people who are supposed to be supporting us, but we have to be honest with ourselves and look around and say, they're not doing that. It's the opposite of that. They're actively scheming against us. So we need to do something about this. We need to protect ourselves and say, we're not going to continue to be a part of this. We're going to focus on what's right. And if each and every one of us can wrap our minds around that and start, actively intentionalizing these things, it'll start manifesting in that direction. And you'll start seeing events and circumstances play out around the world where the truth is coming out, and these entities, these darker entities that are out there to control people, will begin to be exposed more and more and crumble and fall apart more and more. And no one has to pick up a weapon. No one has to put on a uniform and go threaten anybody. It's all of us just making a choice that we want to move on from the pain and the lies, and we're just intentionally being loving people and doing the right things. And that's what they don't like. They don't like people who are taking control of themselves and their lives. They want people to follow what they're telling them to do. So the more and more of us that take independence in that sense, that's another employee that has now decided to quit their job. And if enough employees quit their job, they don't have anyone working for them anymore. Do you understand? So just like any job or any circumstance in your life where you can see that it's not healthy for you, it's time to do something about it. And the more you accept it, it's only you to blame. And I think all of us are better than that. I think all of us love ourselves more than that to allow ourselves to waste our lives. So I love you. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. I hope that it means something to you. I hope it inspires you and gets you to think about some things. And I hope that you can share these things and thoughts and feelings with other people around you that you care about, and not let them continue to be oblivious and naive. The more of us that can have this conversation and start talking, again, it starts that change. Our brains are like a live computer, so the more that we can literally like rewire them and change the connections in there. And right now, the world we've been living in, they've done a real good job of making sure that we have some really twisted connections and some very severed connections. Our job is to heal those connections and get them on the right track so that we can be understanding the truth here. So let's keep focusing on that. Let's keep focusing on being loving and kind. Let's keep focusing on stepping out of our comfort zones and not being afraid to speak up, not being afraid to share your stories and your pains and your troubles and your struggles, and also your successes, because when we share our light and our happiness, other people can also benefit from that. A lot of people need that light and that positivity, because everything they see around them is nothing but negativity. So let's continue to connect with one another and each other, and most importantly, let's continue to be honest with ourselves so that we can be honest with everyone else. And then we'll all be on that same page, that beautiful page of the truth. And we can only go big places from there. And I'm excited for that. And that's coming soon. Coming soon to a world and a reality near you. Hope you're around to see it. You got this. I got you. Have a great day. And I'm here. If you have any questions, reach out. That's what I'm here for. I love you.